Live on YouTube and Twitch. My cat has attempted to do terrible, terrible things. Ideally, the stream has started correctly. I will be back. Icarus will keep you guys entertained as I do.
Okay. Okay, so apparently all pressure has been put on me. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. Drex's cat is trying to kill itself with bleach, apparently, and Ten decided he wanted to play with the arc thrower without the new arc thrower resistant armor, so he's going to be a little late as well. So things are off to a really interesting and fun start today. Um, well, I guess I will do my own introduction here since we will be waiting for a few moments for anyone that's new or just tuning in. Hello, I'm Icarus. I'm the combat division lead for LBL. Anything that goes meow and boom, that's us. Anything that's guns on the ground, that's kind of our shtick. Um, uh, Drex, while he's away, he's our illustrious leader. We don't know what to do with him. This random shit happens all the time. His cat's always trying to kill itself or something. So here we are. A lot of the topics for tonight, we are actually going to be going over the Overdrive event and everything that comes with that. Also, the release of the new F7C, which we can turn into an F7A with this event, which is very interesting. Last time we had something like this, it was really the F8. Though we'd never got into the F8A because that would be insane. But this event is really getting the chance for civilians to get their hands on a military hardware ship, which is pretty cool, and really earning it through actions versus just buying it outright, which is kind of unheard of for Star Citizen. So we've really been looking forward to that. Another thing we want to go over today is the letter from the chairman. That's a very, very important, juicy piece of information. Considering Star Citizen's now getting to its 1.0 release, and that's not my words, that is Chris Roberts' words, which is the really, really cool and interesting part. Um, God, the game's been out for super long at the
All right, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear me again.
Oh. Oh, yep, there you are.
And the stream should be back now.
Okay, there we go. Things are working now.
Yeah. So to give context, girlfriend and I just cleaned our bathroom today with bleach cleaner, not bleach like actual bleach. Our cat likes to roll in things that are sandy. While we were leaving it to clean the bathroom, she thought that it was a great time to roll in the shower.
It was not. It was not a good time.
You could pick her up and put her down, and it would snow around her.
Oh no.
And in leaving, apparently Discord stages will boot the person who runs the stage out. Just who knows?
Man, I thought we was holding it together pretty good too.
You were, and I could still hear you in my headphones because I'd left them on.
just Discord said no.
Yeah, Discord was like, yeah, so Drex leaves the channel, and now no one hears anything because Drex isn't in the stage anymore for some reason.
Oh. So that 10 forward guy decided to play with an arc thrower, and he did not have the new and improved arc armor. So he's going to be a little late.
And obviously I was a little late. Fortunately, Icarus tried to hold the fort down. It didn't work, but he tried.
I did my best, Waltz.
It wasn't for his lack of trying it didn't work. My Discord freaked the fuck out, and we're here now. To all that wonder, my cat is okay. We just gave her a dry bath with shampoo, or dry shampoo. She no longer can be shaken and have cleaning product falling off her fur. All right. So I don't know what Icarus managed to go through with the rest of you guys.
So I just went over, what we're going to be going over, the topics, really the light rundown of the F7A event, and that was it.
Cool. Cool. I doubt anybody heard any of it, which is great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So, here's the deal. Here's the dealio for the week. I assume, Icarus, you already spoke about the Chairman's Club letter and things like that.
Yeah, I lightly went over it, how they talked about 1.0 is on the wane coming out. Things seem to be moving along very well, and the fact that, Star Citizen's finally on the back end of, the many years it's been out and just waiting, we are now at almost a touching point of 1.0.
Well, and they had, I think at least Chris Roberts and his second in command have an internal roadmap. That was the thing that we saw in this week's letter to the chair. And it's the reason we as a community have gotten such little information on road mapping. Because Chris has got it. He's sitting on it.
And, some of the community's previous reactions, it's kind of understandable they have an internal one, but I'm happy they have some roadmap that they're following, and that, according to them, it's going very well.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
I'm very glad. No complaints here.
Exactly. So, let me just... because I will be starting up the Star Citizen stream on the game, because we do have a new ship to show off. If we get new ships in the near future, that's what our intention is going to be. We'll show them off on the stream, give our opinions. Swerve says the stream name is spelled wrong. We'll live with it. My oh yeah, Dirve. Is it the Over Dirve stream? It is the Over Dirve stream.
You know what? I'm fine with it.
Honestly, we do it live.
Over Dirve it is.
It is Over Dirve week. I think anybody who's part of our community that knows the chaos we go through on a regular basis to make everything work, they'll be fine with the Over Dirve.
Over Dirve is normal.
Yeah, I have Diaz and Lexia. Hangar 4, Icarus, just so that you follow me.
Alright.
Alright. So yes, passing the Dirve, which is funny. I'm honestly not going to fix it.
Or should you?
We had the letter from the chair. CIG released an awesome little tidbit today. I don't know.
Oh, I briefly touched on that, but I didn't go super in depth because I figured that's something you really want to talk about as well. We're pretty excited about that.
Yes. So CIG very clearly has gotten. We'll use the word confident.
Confidence is definitely the correct word.
So with their confidence, they're now showing us things that like are coming that are kind of sneaky. So they posted a video of a guy in a cave throwing a chem light. The video is kind of hard to find on the internet. I know we have it in our server, but technically, because I'm late to the stream, I'm not ready to bring it up. But people that are in our server will be able to see it later.
Yep.
All we know is that it is a creature of some sort, and it is very clearly an animal.
Yeah, and it's... I also think one of the important touching points of that as well that's really cool is it's not just an animal, it's clearly a predatory animal. Which, you know, we saw the space cows, we saw the space whales at CitizenCon. This gave me a tinge of, oh no, there's gonna be horror in these caves now.
Oh no, this will eat you.
Yep.
I am going to get 8.
Yes, space wolves.
So, without further ado, as we explain the Overdrive event and talk a little bit more about that, I'm going to show you guys the F8 or F7C Mark II Hornet. That's the word. Sorry,
Yes.
It is very hard to keep track of F8, F7, F7 Mark 1, F7 Mark 2.
Before anyone points it out, yes, we know the F7CM is the background. Yes, we know it's not the correct ship.
Yes, we are aware. All right, so we're in the hangar now. Got it all set up for you guys. This is, I believe I've gone back down to the standard loadout as best as possible. I think the roof cap has broken. I don't think it actually works if you take it off.
It's definitely a Star Ascension ship, then it broke.
Yeah, it broke. Because the roof cap isn't a lack of something, it's like, it's an item that you can't get. So it's kind of weird. So when I point out that and say there's 2 SCU, it doesn't technically have 2 SCU. Also, yes, Swerve, this is the Icebound paint.
It actually looks really good.
I'm a huge fan of it. I thought it was going to look really, really, like, not great. Because on the website, it didn't look amazing.
Yeah,
but,
no, this looks far better than it did on the website.
It's got a very naval pattern. And, like, I'll say naval isn't like Earth naval, not, like, UEE Navy.
Yeah.
Let me just pop the canopy open here. So as everybody knows, the original Hornet, also the one that we showed on the background, this is very similar, obviously, because it's still a Hornet. But I think, all in all, it is infinitely better. Also, yes, so I was not able to re-equip the center point. That might be an issue that I have to figure out later. Or an issue that, like, now that I've done what I've done, I'm doomed.
For now, he has a hot tub on his ship.
For now, I have a hot tub. The cargo box isn't actually in your VMA. Yeah, is it something I have to bring out otherwise, Swerve? Okay, so it's technically not even equipped right. So It's gone.
Once
It's gone.
it's gone.
Okay, so that's something CIG will obviously have to fix.
Yep.
That's kind of funny. Because you'd think you'd have the store all box.
Yeah, you would.
So I don't have it. But up there's 2 SCU of cargo.
Which for a fighter is
It's quite a bit.
basically zero. It's usually 0.
Yeah, right? Well, and you trade off guns for other fun stuff. I'll get back in the cockpit here.
Yeah, because the sound, the power-up sequence is
That's
nice.
Oh, there we go. She's got some power to her.
Even outside, it sounded good.
And all the wings, or not all the wings, but the wings rotate with the guns doing interesting little maneuvers on them. Technically speaking, unlike the other Hornet, when your wings are folded in or outward, your guns remain in a firing position.
Yeah.
On the regular Hornet, they stay fixed and they move out, which is the weirdest thing. So the weapon mounts keep your guns pointed forward at all times.
Yeah, they kind of do a little, almost like gimbal reset.
Mm-hmm. Which is very nice. All right, so with not a lot of ship to show, there is a bit of Hornet here. Obviously, it's a new ship. It's a fighter, so there's not like a full walkthrough we can do. But I'm assuming, there's the guy.
Exactly, that's what I've been saying. I'm glad we can finally address that as needed on stream.
Exactly.
I just showed up.
Yeah, he just has no idea what he's talking about.
Well, no, I've been watching you guys on my phone.
Okay, good.
So I was active in chat somewhat.
So 10 is alive.
I tentatively, but I'm alive.
No. His
I don't wanna
run-in
talk
with
about
the
it
arc
either.
thrower. His run-in with the arc thrower was not fatal, so he's good.
I don't want to talk about it.
Ah, there we go. We'll leave it at that.
Anyway, I also stopped to get some dinner on the way home, in the drive-through, some boomer hopped up on Bengay and vitamins, almost ran into me with their Ranger.
Oh,
That was fun.
Man,
Wow.
you having a day.
Well, it's crazy.
Tonight has been a night.
It has been, but I'm here now, and I am. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, Phil. I appreciate the concern, but yeah, when life hits you, sometimes you just gotta hit back, and
Yeah.
boy, life got hands.
Like doves have hands.
Also, I'm gonna give them some extra bonus points for detail on this. The back engine looks really cool, but not only that, they actually have the color warp for the metal from the heat.
Oh yeah, I had actually not seen that.
Now come back here. You can see it. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, the heat's kind of treating the metal. That is very cool.
I actually like that a lot. That's a good detail.
Well, and this one is infinitely sleeker than the last one.
Yep.
I think so. Not only the Mark II, but the last couple of ships we've seen, they've really been setting the bar for the ship look and how they want to detail things, and I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we have smooth lines that are hard to do in video games, but they're smooth as ever.
I love it.
Even from the front, this Hornet just looks so much better than the Mark One.
And it's also technically smaller.
It is. It is not as big as the Mark One.
I was
But
gonna say, the firepower it could boast and its size is kind of nuts because when bigger ships come out and carriers like the Kraken, you'll be able to fit a lot of heavy duty fighters like this on it.
Now, Icarus, as our combat guy, you I assume you have the numbers on what this thing's rocking as far as weapons. So if you want to break that down for us. That's a you, man.
Actually, funny enough,
no.
I did
No,
have stuff
do it right
on it.
now.
I just got pulled
Do it
up,
right now.
actually. Don't
Now,
pressure me.
funny for reference, as I know I said earlier in our Discord, the Mark II is now in Urkel, so you can get a hold of all the stats directly there if you need.
So, let's see. So, base loadout.
What am I staring down the
For
barrel of? Tell me what we're
so,
looking at.
what's just the base loadout? We got 2 size 4 Rhino repeaters. They come out at a damage DPS of 511 with an alpha of 160. The missiles are actually pretty impressive somehow. It has 2 sets of size 1s. We get 8 missiles total base value with 9,121 damage.
All right, I'm going to see if I can find those missiles because I have not seen them on the hull yet. I assume they're still in the nacelles.
Actually, you know what? Go ahead and activate the ship. Hit your missile button. I want to see if there's ports.
And as far as I
There
haven't tested
the
it.
under bay opens.
Oh,
It actually has a missile drop point. That's awesome.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh,
that's very.
I have not.
my dude, come out. You could get under the ship and see them. They're actually physically there. Oh no, wait, okay, hang on.
You'll
I'll
have to
get
switch in. Yeah.
So, where are y'all?
We're at Everest.
We're at Everest. And
Do either
oh, sorry, I was
are
just
they
gonna...
warning?
Sorry, go ahead, Jen, and then I'll cut you off afterwards.
Oh, thank you. He'll wait to cut me off. Whoever's party lead, I'm in the verse.
Okay. We'll pop you a party invite super quick. We're touring the ship right now. We'll get you in line.
That's entirely fair. I was going to come meet you guys and just,
And if you want to look at the underside of the ship.
Yep, I'm looking at it. Ooh. I'd say to all of our viewers, just before we go any further, we are planning on running Overdrive once we finish our stream around 8. We may go about 8:15 tonight because we didn't start until later, but we're planning on running Overdrive afterwards. We're not planning on streaming it because people in our community have been enjoying not having it streamed. If we get enough interest in like streaming these kinds of things, we obviously will. But this is your time for the next 30-ish minutes to get prepared, get to Everest Harbor, and be ready to go out and, like, party. We'll call it party.
And the plan is to start at that time. We're going to dive right in.
Yes, we're going to start right up, because otherwise we'll spend 3 hours just sitting and waiting for what we're doing.
Actually, now that you mention that, I am going to head back to Crusader and finish outfitting my beautiful Mark II. I will meet you guys there in a bit.
All right.
Alrighty. So, actually, funny enough, that sound is really good.
It's so nice.
Funnily enough, though, that answers a question that in our community has been asked to each other a whole bunch. Is why didn't the cargo pod have a ground lowering part to it? Well, it doesn't because the missile bay is sitting in the spot where the cargo bay is sitting above. So you can't technically access to the bottom. And
if you remember, the missile also knows where it is at all times. So it's got you beat, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it knows. It just does.
It does, indeed.
All right, so since, again, this is a brand new ship, we're going to tell you where to get it and what fun stuff is involved with that. If either of you guys wants to take this on, go for it. But I'm totally ready to explain what F7C Mark II do.
Yep.
You
go right ahead.
That a statement.
But
that's right, the Mark II.
So to give you, I'll give a quick rundown of its loadout and everything here. So it has 2 size 4 repeaters. If you happen to have the turret from the previous Hornets, you can slap them on both the nose and top.
Also can be bought in game.
Yes, can also be bought in game. You start with 2 sets of what are they? The marksman missiles. They're size 1s. You get 4 for a total of 8. Comes with 2 size 1 shields, which isn't bad. 2 size 1 power plants and a size 1 quantum drive. So overall, it is on the I'll say quote unquote lighter end, but by no means does that make it bad, because the F7A, which is what it's really bolstering up to be, is the firepower is disgusting.
Yes.
So the biggest difference here is with the F7A, you get the 2 size 4 repeaters, you have the missiles, but then you get 4 size 3 turret guns. You get 2 on the nose, 2 on the top, and that's a lot of firepower.
It is. It's a ridiculous amount.
And also considering the changes that are coming with master modes, all these are going to be gimbaled. They're all going to stay the current size they are now. That's going to be crazy.
This ship is definitely ridiculously powerful.
That's another thing I was going to say is it's not necessarily the amount of hard points that give it that. It's the size hard points, because you can put some fairly large repeaters. I know you got I think it comes stock with the CF is the CF 447s, right?
Yeah, it's the Rhinos, which is ridiculous.
And then it comes stock with 2 of those. If you put the Heartseeker specialty mount on there, you can put another on top. Plus, you got your nose gun, which you can run a single hardpoint, or you can get the more classic underslung like weapons pod that adds 2 hardpoints.
Yeah.
So, but they all can take pretty sizable guns.
Yep. It's actually the ship's even got the hook for the hard point. I didn't even notice that it did. It's got the
that's
knob
cool.
for it. Okay, so going over how to get the ship. Why do you want the F7? The F7C Mark II. God, you guys just need to hit me like I'm an old style TV. Like I'm having problems.
Give you a couple whacks.
So the new Hornet, I'm just gonna call it that because that makes things easier. The new civilian variant of the Hornet. The new civilian variant of the Hornet can be purchased on the CIG website. No brainer. It can be purchased now for, I think it's $175 or $160 if you have War Bond.
Correct.
Comes standard with.
And if you're concierge, the 160 War Bond comes with the concierge paint.
It does. So with that, which is it's an awesome looking ship. It's pretty cool. I don't think any of us can say it's not pretty cool.
No, it's great looking. It really is.
I saw it.
This ship isn't the king of the event that they're currently running. We touched on it before. I think Icarus touched on it quickly. The Hornet C, so the civilian version, purchasable with money. But the A, that is even better. It's the one Icarus said that was more guns, more guns, more guns. That is tied to the current mission. The mission that CIG is running for us, sponsored by the CDF, the Civilian Defense Force, is the Overdrive event. Every week we're going to get different challenges to do within the verse, all culminating in PvP experiences that are available for like small groups, large groups. I've seen people do single player. I've seen people do multiplayer. I've seen people do... I even saw somebody do one of the missions with a knife. So, like...
Also, apparently, there were groups of people, like, gatekeeping the event and, like, hanging out at the spawn points and, like, killing people trying to do the event. So, that was fun.
Oh, I did not hear about that.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
Here.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that people.
Yeah, just straight up, don't be that guy.
Like, this is a co-op community event. This isn't PvP. Like, don't be that person.
No. But to continue on and like try and keep everything succinct here, we now have obviously the C version of the Hornet. The A version is going to be unlocked at the end of this event. I recommend anybody watching who hasn't already take a look at their in-game mission manager, because it will tell you Overdrive Initiative, I believe it says Intel Gathering Stage 105, and then you keep going through the stages. And every week you want to complete every single stage they do. Because if you complete all the stages, this F7C will become the coveted F7A with a bigger power plant, bigger guns, better pizza, whatever the advertisement is.
Not sponsored.
No, it's definitely not sponsored.
No, you'll get the F7A Mark II is currently one of the ships of the line for UEE Navy. So you're going to be getting their version, not the watered down civilian version which we're used to.
Yes, that's a pretty big difference in hardware and overall firepower. The military variants are significantly stronger.
Let me just pop in the ship again, so people get a look at the consoles.
Even the at one point highly coveted Lightning, which is no longer a mark of prestige.
Nice.
Even that, we got the civilian version still. We didn't get the actual F8. Was it F8A? Is the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this event alone giving us, the F7A is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not something it's not something you can just go buy and get. You actually have to do stuff for it, and it's, well, I'll knock on wood because it generally doesn't do this, but maybe once this is gone, it's gone.
And it could very
Depends
well, if
on
it's not gone, be a once a year type deal, because it is tied to Xenothreat.
True, which I could see that happening. So you'd still have a chance to get it back, but
Wait for this time next year.
Yup.
That would be
Not me, of course.
no, because we're gonna call ourselves out real nice here. I think all three of us and the majority of our organization have picked one of these up because I'm gonna be 100% honest. The Hornet was the classic. Over even the Gladius, the Hornet was the classic Star Citizen ship. It was the Star Citizen fighter before Star Citizen chose the Gladius as its fighter.
I absolutely love the Hornets. It's like the Heartseeker was. I always kept one of those because I just loved the Hornets. The Mark II is just a more beautiful version, so why wouldn't I?
Exactly. Now I will say, I have been a Hornet hater for ages. I hate the original Hornet.
Oh, I could not stand it. I could not stand the look of it.
But this just... That's all I've got for you. Is
Exactly. Yeah, that's understandable.
It's just such a pretty fighter.
It's a really good-looking ship. It's a really cool start to... so far, the event's been pretty cool as well. And it's nice not... let me tell you. The fact the event is a grab this mission and go here and do it thing is amazing. Because the amount of events of this thing is active. That's it. Go do the thing. And you don't get to do the thing because it doesn't happen is not fun. This is fun. This is great.
And not only that, it's bunker missions. It's not just go here, clear 3 waves of enemies. Good job. There's actual problem solving to it.
Yes, that's very true too.
It's like the bunker missions, and I think it mimics the consignment missions. At least this first segment does, where you go in and you hack the bunkers. Which, yes, that kind of mission is around in the game, but no, not a lot of players were getting to do them because they were criminal exclusive. That said, now we're fighting against the criminals, so legally I can run in there and gun everybody down, hack some servers, and that's a game mode as a legal player I have never done before. But I got to do it this time just out of the way.
And it feels good being able to just go in and play the event, have fun with it, and that's it. There's no weird strings attached. There's no, like, oh, you didn't do this quite right. The mission tells you what you need to do, and you do it.
Yep. You squat up, do the mission, walk away. And I think that's how global events in Star Citizen, especially for big prizes like this, that's how they need to be run. They need to be global, as in, like, Joe Schmo could do it if he wanted to. And the bar to entry is literally just skill. There is no chance in this at all. Well, okay. There's chance what system you get, which bunker you get. But once you get to the bunker, all the same. Every single bunker is essentially the exact same.
Yep. And they do increase in difficulty as you go up. So, while it is doable solo, I'm going to tell you, you have a really rough time.
Yes, when I said that I've seen people do the missions with knives, I want to preface that and say I've seen somebody do mission 1 and 2 with a knife, and then mission 3, there is almost no way you're going to complete it without at least 2 people.
It's a lot.
Oh no. Another thing, like talking about like with the difficulty and stuff, is like last night when we went and burned through the entire week's missions in one night. Because why not? If you happen to get on a good server, the newer enemy AI, as well with more stable servers, holy shit, was it not? It was not easy.
There were actual firefights, and it felt great. It was really cool.
Those Xenothreat will kick your butt because they know what they're doing.
Just like going from the bugs to the automatons and Helldivers, they shoot back.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but it definitely added a lot of fun to it as well.
I would say that this mission will test your tactics and how well you use cover, because if you don't use cover, your cover is going to be you on your back staring at the ceiling.
Also, I'm going to make a statement that's going to piss at least one person in our chat off, and I wonder how irate they're going to be. I started my Star Citizen experience, my first ever like fighter that I leaned towards was the Saber. The F7C Mark II, and it's rare that I find a fighter that I will say this about. As far as aesthetics, it has overtaken the Saber in my mind.
Damn.
I think that this is prettier to look at than the Saber.
Not that hard to do.
No, I will give Saber fanboys I'll give them their cake and they could try and eat it too, but I started off as a Saber guy. If you find any of the old footage of me like flying in competitions, I flew a Saber. It was just the ship I enjoyed. But looking at this Hornet, it is just, I don't know, the lines feel so clean, so smooth, and it's not just a Dorito, it has character that the Saber had over the original Hornet series that was like flying a bathtub.
Yep.
But it doesn't have over this Hornet version.
I think for me, a big part of it is that the classic Hornet, the Mark 1, with just the way it's designed, the way it feels, it just gives that nice like old school Top Gun feel to like being a combat pilot. And
100%.
the Mark II is just taking that and upgrading it and making it better and making it look better. And so you still have that classic feel of like you look at that and like I could easily picture having, underneath the cockpit window having your pilot name there and having like kill badges and like you're just, you're a badass Navy pilot. It just feels nice. I just like it.
And also, the cockpit itself, it's smooth, it's clean, I love it. It looks really good.
You really feel like you're
gorgeous.
in I guess it would be a 4th generation airframe because 5th generation is like the F-22 and whatnot. Um, but yeah, it feels like you're in a 4th generation airframe as opposed to a 3rd generation airframe.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Saber is a very weird. It's a 5th generation airframe if I really want to like compare it to real life. But by doing that, it's taken some personality in hopes of getting more stealth.
Yeah.
So I know I give Foe more than enough shit at every opportunity. The Saber is genuinely a beautiful fighter, and I honestly love it for what it is. But I'll agree with you, Drex. The Mark II just overtakes it in just the initial look, just kind of glancing over at it. It has this silhouette to it that is very distinguishable. You can know exactly what that is, but it's not like you said. It's not like this Dorito shape that's just there with some like nice design detail on the outside. It feels real, and then of course, you know the way that the landing gear operates, and the wings will fold out when you raise the landing. Like it's just there's moving components to the ship, which makes it feel more real.
100%. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like they know Top Gun and all that stuff always pops up when we talk about fighters and everything. With it having the folding wings, it gives you that old style, like the F-14 Tomcat
Exactly.
feeling.
That was one
Well,
of the things I
like
loved about the Mark One. It, like I said, it just had that vibe to it.
if I had to say, at least with the Mark II, um, if I had to say anything, I would say that it feels like it's the good F-14 parts of the original Hornet because the original Hornet feels very F-14. I'll give it that.
Very
Yeah.
much so. It's clear that was where a lot of design inspiration came from.
But it takes those pieces and keeps them modern. Whereas, like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Saber is it's the F-22, which is not a bad looking aircraft. But once you get into this era of stealth, every single aircraft starts to look the exact same.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate. And it's not bad. Like I don't want to blame it, but it's just not the best.
No. It really is cool to start seeing their ship designs get, I'll say, just better overall compared to what we've got in the past. Is everything feels more put together, solidified. It looks nice. It functions nicely, and it doesn't go over the top. Or I'll obviously go over the top. It doesn't try to be something it's not.
Yes. No,
Right.
I agree.
And not only that, but they are very, very clearly defining the different looks of different manufacturers and leaning really heavy into, okay, this is an anvil ship. It's going to look like this. No matter what ship it is within the anvil line, it's going to have these design features, which anvil, maybe a bad example because they've always kind of had that. But you can see it more like in the newer Drake stuff, like with the Cutter and the Corsair. It's like, okay, that's a Drake. They're obviously not the same ship, but that's a Drake. And I just want to see that continue with more ships.
Exactly. No, I agree. I 100% agree.
And I mean, I think we're gonna get that. I think that's just what's gonna be the standard now.
And that's the hope. I think that these ships, as they go, need to be they need to be better. They need to
Yeah.
be smarter.
Well, another thing with the ship as well that I have to say is, for the price point it's out at, I feel like they're getting more reasonable. I'll say with their packaging.
Yes.
For 160, Warbot 175, you could upgrade into this. You can't go wrong with it. It's not their craziest price ship, it's not their lowest price ship, but you can literally hop in this and probably be good.
I was genuinely surprised at the price point because when I first heard okay it hit the store and I went on the store, I was like, okay, I'm expecting to pay somewhere maybe the 250 range. I expected it to be more than my current Hornet at the time.
Yeah.
And then seeing the price point, melting my Heartseeker for it, and still having credit left over, even buying the additional paint. I was like, wow, it's just a fantastic. It's a lot for what you're paying for.
Yep. Oh, it is. It's a ton for what you're playing or what you're paying for.
Especially coming to the fact with the event, you get a whole upgrade package that makes this thing even better for basically free. You're not getting 2 ships for the price of 1, but you're getting a good ship with a premium upgrade you can get for free for doing this stuff.
Exactly. I don't know, it's just very cool. We're getting to a spot where like in Star Citizen we're not seeing low effort anymore.
Yeah. No, the quality change ever since CitizenCon across the board has been amazing. Doesn't actually like touch it. Like this is the Star Citizen I had been hoping for a while, and now it's here. It still doesn't feel real, and they keep adding more and showing us, hey, here's the quality, here's everything you wanted, here's more news, here's more information. I don't know what to do with all of it, because it's great.
Oh, exactly, right? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. No, I can't say anything other than, like, it's crazy.
It is.
I know at the beginning of the year, the end of last year, beginning of this year, with a lot of the sitcom stuff that came out, and a lot of the like speculation, we were all talking about how this year, and not even just this year, but this quarter, was going to be like the make or break for CIG going forward. Mm-hmm. And they're making it, in my opinion. They're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, granted, we have a long way to go still, but I mean, I'm satisfied so far.
Something else I feel. Something that's also really important, especially for people who have been out of the loop for a while with the game overall, is 3.23 is not going to be the same Star Citizen. Old Star Citizen's going to be gone forever after that comes out. It is going to be an entirely new game. And everyone goes, oh, I saw this previous stuff. No, that's all irrelevant. That's gone.
Oh, exactly.
Everything moving forward here, old videos, old information, all that is going to be meaningless. To an extent.
Exactly.
And if you want to make sure you stay on the bleeding edge of that, follow us on Twitch, YouTube.
We'll be keeping you we'll be keeping you up to date. We'll keep you up to date.
Join our Discord server.
Yep, join our Discord.
If you're already there, we'll
push all that stuff.
Nothing important.
Yeah.
But right, shameless self-plug over. Continue.
No, I genuinely think it's wild seeing where the game is about to be, and this isn't like you said, Ten. When we came to this first quarter, we were expecting, we'll see some of the stuff from CitizenCon, pop in, whatever. Like, we'll get over the course of the year. We're getting the majority, if not all, of the stuff we saw at CitizenCon in the first quarter.
Oh, it's crazy.
I walked in like, okay, maybe we'll see server meshing and stuff, it'll be cool. I blink, it's like, yeah, all that stuff you saw, it's happening. Here's the other stuff. Also, we have evidence to show it's working. Not just working very well. Also, there's this, and this. My brain can't keep up with it, because I was not expecting it.
Oh, no, right? Like, it's incredible.
I was very. I don't feel overwhelmed necessarily, but I don't think I'm ready for the changes just because of the amount of changes and the quality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they were saying, this is
exactly.
gonna be an entirely different game, and I don't know if I'm ready.
And also, with on top of that, the letter from the chairman, when they said the quarterly updates are basically going to be like, what our yearly worth of content was for every quarter now, if not more, it doesn't register. Like, huh? What do you mean?
Right.
Exactly, right? Like it's crazy.
Like in a game where, granted, yeah, they like Swerve said, over 20 major features in 323 alone. In 323 alone, and their goal is to get us either 2 or half a step away from 4.0 by year's end. Like, that's a lot of shit coming down the pipeline in little to no time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, and it's wild. Like it is absolutely wild. And I know, like, oh, I'm saying that over and over again as we sit and look at this Hornet, but
It is.
it's incredible.
Like, one of the big things that kills me with it is I don't think, unless you've put time and dedication into this game and really gotten to know the in and outs, and even the bugs, the issues, everything we've had to deal with, and also I'll even say the kind of soul crushing false hope that we've felt at some point. Like, we'll go back to the 3.18 days. That was scary. I'm not gonna lie, that one broke me a bit.
I don't even want to talk about 318, man.
Those updates were horrifying.
Like that was kind of the oh shit moment for me for the game. Now I'm not drinking the Chris the Chris Kool-Aid or anything, but I also am, because they kind of said, hey, we know we kind of fucked up, but this is why, and the fact they had something to show for it is incredibly important.
Oh yeah, like, guys, we screwed up. Like, things were really bad. We screwed up a lot. Okay.
This is why.
They were like, oh, here's all these things that, like, we screwed up. Now we're done. We've got it all.
It, like, okay, kind of, yeah, playing off again with more of what we said. I've obviously not been in this as long as like Drex has been, but I've still put what I would consider a good amount of time into this game, even if maybe it's not like years of playing, but the amount I've played within the time, I'd say a lot. And seeing, like, through the 318 days, which I'm sure Drex can attest, the 318 is nothing compared to some other shit that's been out there.
No.
But just living through that, and then seeing this, it already feels like a 180, and we've seen nothing yet.
Yeah, it is. It is just wild how far we've traveled in
A very short time.
I would say 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And, I don't think reiterating it, unless you've been in the position of playing the game and seeing this stuff, understand that it went from kind of nothing was going on to the game is about to be finished. Squadron 42 is about to come out. All these features are coming to the persistent universe. You're about to get a new system. Also, we worked on wildlife. This is coming out. And it's not just, soon, like quotation marks. We have it to show. Here's gameplay of it. Here's our testing groups actually doing the stuff. Here's it functioning.
Exactly.
You don't see that.
I mean,
you don't.
Like, within that same vein, I'm still just, like, even now, I'm still blown away about the server meshing test. They just kind of dropped it on Evocati, and it fucking worked. And it's like, okay, cool, it works. Let's get it ready to go. And it's like, well, hold on a minute.
Hold up. Wait a second.
Where's the 6 months in Evocati, another 6 months in the EPTU? Like, where's all that?
So
Sorry, go ahead.
So Weather's they got receipts. They do.
They do. They got receipts.
Well, and things like this Overdrive event. Okay, we're in Overdrive Part 1, and for some people, it's not working. But, like, let's be real. It's working.
Yep.
They didn't even PTU this event.
No. Compared to past events, I mean, compared to things like Siege of Orison, which that it is what it is. This is nothing like that.
It lives in PTU hell, admittedly.
Yeah. According to Swerve, they did PTU Overdrive, but...
Did they?
Apparently so. It couldn't have been very long, though.
I would say it was not a long PTU if it was at all. That does make sense. It does ring a bell that they would have PTU'd it at some point. Regardless, though, it was not a long PTU, and they had it. And it worked. Yeah. It just, poof. It's enjoyable and it's working.
In the words of, Todd Howard, it just fucking works.
Yeah. Well, and it comes with new ships, it comes with new things to do, there are new upgrades that you can get. They have made a good point of making this available to the whole community, regardless of who you are. If you could fire a gun in Star Citizen, you're going to be able to go after this Hornet. And that's awesome because I'll admit here, there are lots of people who will complain over the Idris thing that couldn't care less about the combat in the game. But myself as somebody who cares at least slightly, and anybody else in my state or in my spot that cares slightly, can fumble through these missions. It's not hard.
And even if you're not like an FPS combat person, there's still stuff to do within these missions. To deal with the terminals and finding the codes and doing the puzzle part. You got that. Yeah. And getting the new Hornet is not comparatively is not that big of a hurdle. Plus the potential to get the upgrade. And then with the master mode changes, dogfighting is going to be a lot easier for the average person. So they're just setting it up to be user-friendly for people who may struggle with it. Exactly. And maybe it turns them off from the game. Not
if
anymore.
You care at all about combat, this ship will not be hard to get your hands on. And that's important.
Also, not really a hot take, but also a hot take. And I know, maybe no one in this chat, maybe no one watching, but someone out there is going to feel it in their heart. My guys, it's an MMO. Go socialize. Ask other people for help. Go play with others. You solo people that go, I can't do that. You're not supposed to. Get over it.
No, this is, I will be 100%. This and all the other leaked events, I'm not going to talk about what we've seen as leaks for what's coming, but this event specifically, you will not complete it as a single player. It is not possible. Once you get to level 3, those terminals you have to hack, they keep popping up, they send more enemies after you, and you will just not have the time to hack through the terminals without the enemies or the timers that are arbitrarily put on by the cooling system. You will not be able to defeat that as one person.
Yep.
If you want to play this game solo, I mean, you can. Go nuts, kid. No one's telling you not to. But don't complain when community events and team-based things don't work for you.
Exactly.
It's in the name.
Yeah. There's a reason that the game... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Drex.
No, I was saying it's a team effort, and it's perfect as a team. Even if you are not the best at first-person combat, I'm gonna I'm gonna follow this up, and it's gonna sound like an insult, but my girlfriend is brand new at video games. Like, she's had a computer for 3 weeks. She came with us last night to do Overdrive, and she had a blast. From all I can tell, she really enjoyed it. And she's not the best at first person shooters. Like, she's arguably like she's so new that like this kind of thing could kick her butt. But the game and the way that this works, I'm not having to fight people in the community like Avenger 1 to get control of an Idris. I'm not having to fight 25 people who are teamed up to take an Idris to the other side of the moon. I'm fighting 30 AI at a time and doing objectives as I do it.
And also, another niche thing I'm going to throw into that as well. Running around, reading the numbers, running back, shooting by yourself is the most unappealing sounding thing to be possible. Us communicating, running around, let's say chaotic gunfire, someone's trying to read the panel, someone's covering them. It felt like a goddamn episode of a show. It felt great. It was cool as shit to do with a group.
Like, to draw connections to a show that's on TV right now that most people in our audience would probably be watching. You felt like a member of like the Bad Batch or like the member of a clone trooper squad in Star Wars. Like it felt really every person had a job.
Yeah.
It was nice.
You had to adapt on the fly. It was a cool scenario to get tossed in with your friends with, and I personally think, as you know, as small as it is here, and well, I say as small as it is here, there's more parts coming. It was probably the most cool event I've done in a while in this game.
Yep, and it didn't require us to do, like Siege of Orison as an example, it didn't require us to prepare out the wazoo for the most ridiculous battle of our century.
Yeah.
And even I, the classic 10 forward bad at games, even I enjoyed it and did not feel overwhelmed.
Oh, and that's perfect. Like, you not being overwhelmed as, and again, we'll dig into it because it's funny, bad at games.
With my brain running on 10 FPS naturally.
Yeah.
Even still, I had a great time.
But you're a Hornet fan as well, so like you aren't being, I don't want to say ripped. I don't know how to say this best. This experience of having the Hornet Mark II and the Hornet A Mark II isn't being stolen from you as a person who, you know, loves the Hornets and just isn't there yet.
No, I'm not having to struggle through some ridiculous PvP event to get the chance at it. I'm here.
You didn't have to go hunt down a platinum ticket and like fight off Avenger 1 and everybody who like listens to his guides on how to fly ships to get a ticket.
Well,
right.
And I also feel like that's a really important point as well. Like, I know it's already been mentioned a few times, is by no means do I think PvP is a bad thing. I actually welcome it in the game quite a lot. I'm not the best at it. I've getting my ass kicked. There's really fucking good pilots out there that kick my ass all the time. But
I'm sorry, our combat lead likes to combat?
I know, take a seat. It's a shocker. Whoa. I know. Pump the brakes. It's a lot to take in. But the fact that there's an event that you can do with a smaller group of friends that's PvE, and you don't have to have the I'll say the dark cloud over you of, am I about to be dropped by some, like super sweaty player that just wants to PvP because they like to, there is some people that just like to go fuck with your day. That not existing is great.
Yep.
It should be in the game. I'm fine with it being in the game, but it's nice to have a bit of everything because this game should have a bit of everything.
And this gives PvE combat pilots everything they ever needed.
Jumptown is your quintessential PvP, and you if you do Jumptown, you go into it knowing I'm probably gonna die. Like I'm probably not making it out of here. But that's what that is designed as. This is not that, but that's okay because it's not designed that way either.
And also, because, another game we've been playing, I'm starting to notice a trend here, which is kind of nice. Helldivers, for example. PvE can be intense. It can be difficult. While this event was, I'll say, wasn't the most difficult thing for us, because we had a fairly large team, the back end got pretty crazy. We had to hold those servers for a while. There was a lot more enemies. There was a lot more going on. And I love that.
Oh, and the enemies would absolutely annihilate you. Like they come out of the door and they come out running.
Yep, they're ready. You're on there. You're taking their servers. They don't like that, and they're going to tell you they don't like that.
Yeah, they are not pleased. Again, I think that's the thing with this mission, that the AI, they worked and they were formidable, but it was AI, so they weren't like, I don't want to fight Joe Schmo who has played Call of Duty with FaZe for the last 10 years. Like I don't need to be quickscoped. I want some cannon fire.
We'll get it comes with the whole thing. You can have these cinematic, fun, intense firefights in the PvE part of a game. I hate that for some reason PvP is like smeared on the back of intensity. It's not. It doesn't need to be PvP to be intense or fun or challenging.
Oh, of course. And I think what's going on?
Speaking of PvP, our lovely friend Foe is at Everest Harbor.
Okay.
I know that because I saw him. I locked on and I armed missiles, as a haha funny joke.
Okay.
He did it back, but he actually fired a missile at me, and I did not have my foot pedal for my countermeasures ready. So I'm back at Orison.
Oh no!
Let me claim my ship, and I'll be back that way.
Alrighty. See, we have fun.
Thank you, Foe. I appreciate it.
We have fun here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for them to pop up in chat. Oh God, sorry.
Yeah,
I just opened the door of the hospital room in Orison General, and there's 10 NPCs inside each other at the door looking at me.
They're really worried about you.
As we roll to, we'll call it about here. Give you guys the 15 minutes we lost out of the first end of the show. I think the biggest thing we can say, and it's the thing we've been saying every stream, but for some reason, every time we do a live broadcast and we talk to you guys, something else has happened that gives us another reason to like, oh my goodness, guys, something happened.
I won't lie, when we first started doing this, I was like, okay, cool. Like, for the first 2 or 3 episodes, we were like, okay, we gotta plan out, what do we want to talk about today? But the last few has just been like, oh my god, what can we fit into the episode today?
Chris Roberts be planning for us.
Right? Hey, I appreciate it, my man. Keep going with
Chris Roberts. He's our boy.
Exactly. And I think the funniest part, as we wrap up, and I think it's a good way to wrap up, is we started off like kind of clamoring to find what people wanted to talk about, what people wanted to listen to, and we were like, okay, we have to find a way to work through our content backlog entertainingly. And then all of this started happening, and it was like, well, there goes the backlog. Because we have a lot of things actually, like, I'll say the drawing board. We have a lot of things on the drawing board that we were going to run as like shows for you guys. And we literally have not been able to, because the Star Citizen news worth telling all of you guys keeps coming.
We had things on a whiteboard. They walked over and just threw one of those, paper covers over it with other stuff and just said, "There."
Yeah.
There. Do this.
Do this. It's ours now.
In the spirit of a group of modern day gods among us, to quote Smash Mouth, it starts coming and it don't stop coming.
Exactly.
I'm okay with that though.
I am very okay with it, and I'm gonna say our final words here. But basically, we're just looking forward to seeing what happens next week in Star Citizen.
Oh yes,
or this week in Star Citizen, whatever we want to call it.
I got a feeling it'll be good.
One of these days, we'll talk directly to Jared for some reason, and I'll be like, "What you got, Jared?"
Let's get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll bring Jared in. One, now that we've got an audience, I'm seeing at least 8 viewers in chat. A couple people have tagged in, a couple people have tagged out. As we gain a following, we're going to be able to talk to more Star Citizen content creators and get more of a foot in the door. And I wouldn't mind talking to bigger creators.
No, I would love to do collaborations and talk with them, get their points of view as well. It'd be really good.
So I guess the final wrap up. If you guys have streamers that you watch for Star Citizen or content creators that you watch for Star Citizen that you would love to see us interact with, 1, we're not against it. 2, if you guys can get us in contact and get something just a line of communication, we'll work into it.
100%.
Right, and I promise that I won't do what I did to Avenger 1 when I met him in the verse. I won't actively ask him to have my children. So I'll be nice.
But maybe he will.
He might. Look, that's what I did. I shot my shot. DMs are open. Avenger 1, just waiting.
I would say,
he
honestly,
didn't say no.
We got 8 viewers today, so when we get to 80 viewers, maybe you're just big enough stuff for him to. Oh, he's all like, all right, this guy wants me to have his babies. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Who knows? Viewers, stick around to wait. Stick around and watch.
Stick around.
You never know.
We'll catch you next week.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye, everybody.